Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to grab back under here, there's going to be some tools and jacks and whatnot, but you're going to want this tool right here. This is your spark plug removal tool. If you don't have it, you can still do it with extensions. Just watch your angle that you're putting them in at. Alright, got my newly acquired 85 300ZX turbo. But she does not run very well, so we're gonna do a little bit of the plugs, wires, and distributor and rotor cap today and see if we can get it going a little better. It's got some pretty good rat chew marks on her, so she's been sitting for a while. That's a vacuum line. They even chewed on the distributor cap itself. Wow. But I know it's bad because I had it running and I was gonna adjust the ignition timing, and when I put my hand on top of this, it zapped the shit out of me. So that's a good way to know that it's cracked. But just for reference, so people know, if your car starts up and sounds like an Apache, like this one, give it a second. Something like that. Look at that shake. So let's see if we can get her running on all 6 cylinders and not 4.5 or whatever the hell's going on. Right. Went out to AutoZone, got my stuff, so let's get to it. And also, whenever I do my plugs and wires, I always pull out one plug at a time and then replace the spark plug and then throw the new wire on it. But don't hook it to the old cap and just let it sit there. And then when we get to the old cap, we'll just pull that off. Put the new one on and slip the wires onto it. All nice and easy like. But one of the things you'll notice is if you do not have the factory spark plug tool, sometimes you're going to have a bit of an issue because of extensions and sockets tend to rub on things. In particularly, the spark plug number 6 down in there, right there, you'll have a little bit of trouble. You have to move this little bracket thing to be able to get the tool into there all nice and easy like. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Just try to get one of these tools. If you don't have one, I'm sure you can go on to the Facebook group and someone would be more than happy to sell you one out of their parts cars. Okay, and another very crucial thing to do that most people neglect to do when doing their spark plugs on the VGs, since the plug hole is pretty far down in the actual head itself. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. Yeah, down in there. The plug, if you can see, has a bunch of stuff around it. So you're going to want to grab a flathead and kind of scrape around the plug, and then maybe grab a shop vac with a vacuum hose on the end of it and go down there and suck all the dirt around the plug, because there's no use in changing the plug out if you drop a bunch of debris down into the cylinder, and then on the first startup you get a little tiny rock in between your spark plug points, and then it kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, now you can see down in there all that pine needles and debris and dirt has all been loosened up with a nice long flathead. So then I'm going to take my shop vac, and then in the end I put a vacuum hose, and then you can just shove that vacuum hose down in there. Come on. There we go. And then suck all that dirt out before you put the new plugs in. Okay, now after you vacuum it out and get all that out there, sometimes there's still a couple little things stuck in there. So get an air compressor with a good spray nozzle. And get that plug all cleaned out. And now it should look a whole lot better down in there. If I can get to see down in there. There we go. Cleaner. Clean enough to get the plug out. Alright, here's spark plug 1. That is nasty. Let's see what we can dig out of the other cylinders. Also, make sure that before you put your new plugs in, to check the gap on them and make sure that they are in OEM specifications. So, take your plug and then get yourself a little gauge tool, and you should end up right in between the 39 to 41, 42 mark, somewhere in there. I always like to put mine like right at 39 because I'm going to run my boost a little higher, so I don't want my spark to blow out. Sometimes there might be even crap down in there like plastic clips, like this one. So that plastic clip had to have came from right here, since the other one's right there. Good thing you got one of these things though. Let's pull that thing out of there. Wow. So plug 2, come on, focus, is soaking wet. So she was not even trying to spark. Just a super fouled out plug. Come on, focus. Yeah. Nasty. Alright. Cylinder 5 is out. This one was just a little, got a little bit of soot and stuff on it, but it wasn't wet like the other plug, so at least it was sparking. Alright, now after this one, it'll be done with the passenger side and then back over to the driver's side. Driver's side's a little harder, so I might show a little bit better detail on how to get that. This side's pretty easy. Alright, now when getting the plugs over on this side, since it's really tight, because it seems to be that they put everything over here, you're going to want to get some long needle nose like this, and then just grab the spark plug boot and give her a quick little tug, and it should pop right off. I've had these plug boots on there so hard before that I've literally pulled the whole wire off and the boot stayed on there, so hopefully nothing like that happens on this side. Okay, let's see how cylinder 1 is. Super wet. Super wet and nasty. So hopefully this car just doesn't have some stuck fuel injectors that are stuck open as well, since it does have the earlier style single top feed injectors. That was kind of a common problem with them, was for them to get stuck. So let's hope they're not. Okay, now let's get cylinder 4 out. Let's see how she looks. Oh, pretty dirty, but not as wet as the other cylinders, so that's good. Good sign. Okay, so onto the last cylinder. In order to get that tool in here properly, you're going to want to take these off, and then also this bracket right here, move this, and then that tool will slide right in alongside the intake manifold, so we'll get that all taken off. Okay, now that this whole bracketing is all out of the way, you can see the last plug top right here. So again, you're going to want some long needle nose to go down there and pull it out, but it should be pretty easy from here. Okay, another thing, a lot of people have a problem getting this last one out, and I see it all over online, because this one at the back is actually at an angle, so it's facing more towards the firewall of the car at an angle. Most people try to go straight in, up and down, and then they end up cross-threading them really bad. You end up having to drill them out and then take your head to a machine shop and get a helicoil put in. So let's avoid doing all that. Alright, so let's see how good cylinder 6 looks. Wow. Not good at all. Super wet plug. Come on, focus in. Pretty nasty. Lots of stuff all over it. Alright, next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to take off the little screw here, little screw there, pop the distributor cap off, and take a look at the points. I tried to clean this one a little bit a day ago, but they're pretty bad contact points in there. So, reference should be looking like these. All nice and new. No crack in the cap, so I'm not going to get zapped. Alright, but before you put this on, make sure to always get another rotor cap, because the end of that thing's all chewed up and nasty from bad connections. So also on a side note, if your rotor cap isn't pointed in a direction to where you can get this bolt out to replace it, you can just put your key in the ignition and keep bumping the throttle and get it to where it's pointed either this way or straight in front of you, so that way you can get it out easier. Alright, and then the last thing to do is just check and see if you got a little bit better running on it. Started right up that time.
Way better. Doesn't sound like I'm catching.
No, my door's not flying around anywhere. Alright. Probably have to idle for a little while to burn up all that nasty old gas and stuff inside of there.